Hello, 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 and welcome to my new studio. CheersKevin here. It's been a long time since I've been kind of face on camera, yeah, we have bought a house. We are in a studio. We are in the basement in this area that is going to become my studio, and it needs a fair bit of work. I have a table that I'm going to get built. I have the bolts for that table. I have some laminate. I have some underlay, and you can see there's some gunk. There is carpet tack all around here. The switch box is down here. Some of these tiles are getting kind of dirty. There's no cap on the light. Some of these tiles I need to actually put back up there. There are these little light fixtures that don't have fixture things that don't have anything in them. And we've got these lovely, lovely French doors that don't close because I need to nail this trim down here. This is over here. Like that needs to be, there we go. Need to get a finishing nail in there, keep that where that's supposed to be. And then up here, even these, it kind of falls backwards. I'm gonna need to get a ball catch up there to get that working. Not only that, when we bought this house, there is no knob on here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take these off, put in some different handles, and then figure out the plan for this place. So, what I want to do is to try and go through this process for the most part on camera. I have a wisp room that I need to get set up in here. I eventually want to partition off half the space, probably right from that corner all along to the wall, and do kind of real proper sound treatment in there so that I can have instruments in there and microphones and all that sort of thing, because the whisper room is really just sort of more of a private thing. And then the rest of this is going to be my home office because I work from home for my day job. That is a long-term plan that may involve a raised second floor on top of the concrete, a ceiling below the joist, a floating ceiling, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm not really a handy type of person, but when you buy a new house, all of a sudden, that becomes a skill set that really could stand to be developed, and there's a lot of incentive there, and all of a sudden you start picking up on, okay, well, maybe this is stuff that we're gonna do. So, what I wanna do today is try and work on some of the projects that I can work on, like getting this carpet tack up. Former owners were messy, to say the least, and so we need to, well, former residents, the owners were renting out to somebody, but we need to get this up. We need to get everything in here cleaned up and vacuumed because it is a mess. It's gross down here. It's a basement. You know, it is what it is, and of course we're not focusing for whatever reason. I don't know why that is, but get that cleaned up. Gonna get these doors fixed up, and then from there, I want to start actually planning out what to do, because before I lay down the floor, if we're gonna paint in here, it seems like a smart thing to be doing. So, if this is interesting to you, great. If it's not, gonna be a couple of videos that probably not gonna be much interest to you, so apologies for that. But hopefully we'll see the acoustics getting better. It's very echoey in here right now, though it is probably the most sound isolated from the rest of the house, which is good. And then, you know, the doors are nice. I'm working from an area that doesn't really have a door, and it is very noisy. So we're gonna see what we can do. I need to find my Gorilla Pod so I can set that up and start doing maybe time-lapsey stuff, and to get this table built so I at least have a little workstation in here to be working off of. So I'm gonna focus on that right now. Update number one, I don't have the slightest clue where my Gorilla Pod is. That's those little bendy tripod-y things that you can kind of set anywhere. But I did find this big tripod because, hey, this was big enough to not get end up in a Rubbermaid tote, or I guess it's Sterilite, I don't know, whatever the heck the things are. This is vastly more than is needed for this little handheld camera, but I'm gonna set you guys up there because, well, I don't know where anything is. Okay, so there we are, we're set up on a tripod. That's great. First task, gonna be at least getting this door to the point where it can close, even though they don't seem to want to stay closed. I'm actually gonna put the tripod out there, though it's very noisy out there because the AC unit, there's pass-through vents and stuff out there, so it's audible. With that loud clattering nonsense done, these should actually shut. Let's have some down. Beautiful. They don't line up. This one is sagging and also wants to push in. That's why I do want to have clasps, not clasps, but ball latches like you have on closet doors along the tops of both of these. I suppose in the meantime we could just tie some string around both. I don't know. Second step of business is getting actual handles on these doors, because there are handles on the outside, no handles on the inside. It's like that when we got the place. So went to Menards, got some handles. These are hall and closet handles, which means they don't have any sort of lock mechanism. In theory, what you want for something like this is called a dummy handle, but I didn't know the term at the time, and even then it turns out that they don't really carry many dummy handles in the store. This wasn't much more expensive than what the dummy handles would have been online anyway. I also just realized that I have spit up on my shirt, but that is the nature of having young kids, and you're always going to have spit up on your shirt. So I'm going to take this off. I'm guessing this is going to be the handles for the hall stuff. The handles will turn, which won't actually do anything. But hey, I'm just going to call that a bonus. It's to confuse intruders. Oh no. Oh boy. That isn't gonna work. Well, I mean, those holes aren't gonna conveniently line up, are they? No, of course not. No. Okay. So the lesson that we've learned here is, when you have something that uses dummy handles, it does not necessarily have a hole here. Normally there'd be a big hole here, but if you don't have the latch, then there's no need to. This plate, I guess, just sits there. Well, that's funny. Yeah, my replacements are not going to work. Well, that's kind of a bummer, because that was my planned task for today, but hey, just goes to show you I'm an idiot. Okay. At the very least, we can get this table set up. And, you know, this is already bending up a fair bit. I'm not going to freak out too much about getting scratches on the top of it, because it's been through a lot. It's going to be through more. There we go. Always important to just have some place that you're working off of. And it should be very apparent at this point is the fact that I only have a vague sense of what I'm actually doing. But I've been watching some Minecraft Let's Play videos of all things, and realizing, hey, this is kind of a Let's Play of house. I don't know. At least I thought it would be interesting, or that at least I would watch if somebody else made a video series of kind of going through their home setup, kind of from their home studio setup from scratch. That's something I would watch, so hey, why not at least give it a shot? It's interesting to me, it's a fun thing for me to do, and also kind of fixes the problem that I think you end up with a lot of vlogs, which is that they're not particularly contained projects, and so you can run out of things to talk about. This video series will have a clear ending in that, hey, as soon as the studio is where I want it to be, well, we're done. And if there's no update to make, then you never sit there going, hey, is this a good time to make a video or not? If there's something I'm working on and something I'm channel, great. If not, then it's a natural end to it. It also avoids the issue with a lot of YouTube stuff, which is kind of the personal lives and privacy, which now that I have a family, kind of a bigger focus for me. It's not just, hey, let me turn on the camera and point at things. It's let me think about kind of the ramifications. So like, well, okay, am I being respectful of other people's right to privacy? Am I being responsible for other things that I don't want to share? And kind of making sure that I have them being mindful about the soldiers. I'm only finger tightening these for right now because I don't know. I'm going to need to grab an Allen wrench because I did not bring one in here. At least once I get this, this is, it's a great table to, got it off of Amazon right after I moved into my New York apartment back 7 years ago now? 7 years ago I moved to New York. And I liked it so much that I insisted on getting the same model after I moved back. So unfortunately, because of travel and stuff, I wasn't able to, and my not driving at the time, wasn't able to just kind of rent a U-Haul and bring back a lot of, bring much of my furniture. So I ended up getting rid of a bunch of stuff. But I ordered the same table and chair sets because I found them both to be pretty great. So fan of this table. Gonna have to figure out, this is yeah, okay. So I need to grab the, actually I wonder, was I smart because I packed the hex down? Okay. Every so often I'm smart, I pack the Allen key with the screws and bolts, but this is not one such time. Or just the bolt ends, rather. These are not screws. Okay. Last leg. And we'll get these on. So it has been a while since I've been making certainly kind of face cam videos. A lot of the focus has been more on just gaming stuff, which I used to have on a separate gaming channel. Kind of moved off of there after YouTube's views and subscriber requirements changed. I was kind of just shy of some of the requirements, and basically the gaming channel got demonetized. I figured, hey, if I've got this one sitting here and I'm not producing stuff on it, I really ought to just consolidate and say, hey, if this is something you like to watch, great. If it's not, great. Given that the subscriber tab is seeing a lot less utility anyway, I feel like I'm less concerned with muddling up people's feeds with content of different styles. And I'm curious to see if other people are following that. As much as I haven't been producing a ton of stuff, I have been watching a fair bit in my complete lack of spare time. All right, time to grab an Allen wrench. Battery on the camera is dying, and I have not unpacked enough stuff to know where the other battery is. So I don't have a backup charging. So this one's just gonna die. Didn't find an Allen wrench, but did find the hex head for the screwdriver. So I'll go ahead and wrap this up and catch you in a little bit. The stable table. Great. I'm gonna have to pull this out because I gotta pull up all of the carpet tacks, but I think we'll leave that for next time. I do want to get started real quick on taking some measurements, get working on some initial planning.
So now it's time to move on to the next step, which is, of course, looking at this wonderful drawing and actually doing some planning. We're going to do some 3D modeling using SketchUp, which is a lot of fun. It's a product was bought by Google, subsequently sold by Google. And yeah, this is what it's pretty. No, I'm kidding. This is me scribbling in a very not to scale. You see, this length is 2 feet. This length is 6 feet, right? So clearly these squares are exponential. There's some sort of logarithmic scale at play here. This is me kind of going through all of these walls with a laser measure because I'm lazy and don't want to use a tape measure, trying to get rough guesses. Some of these it gives me down to, it's like, hey, the 1/16 or whatever. I don't think these things are that accurate, but who knows? We'll put in what we can and then kind of fudge things as needed. But we can at least get a floor plan in and start looking at how we want to lay this out. So if you go to SketchUp.com, we have SketchUp here, and I'm going to go ahead and look at products and SketchUp free and start modeling. This is a great tool. One of the things that's a bummer for me, though, is that I'm going to need to, I need to sign in. One of the things that's a bummer for me, though, is that it's really unusable without a scroll wheel, which my fancy-dancy Okay, yeah, we use cookies, so that's good. My fancy trackball mouse doesn't actually have. I use some emulation stuff to get kind of scroll functionality, middle click functionality, but that doesn't quite work in here. So I'm going to have to actually use an old human weird, strange mouse. We will delete this guy. Let's save this right away. Okay, so I've gone ahead and saved this into my own folder. Not going to show you guys that just because I have my own other things like my house floor plan. Privacy. Not necessarily feel like showing you that. So if you hold down the middle wheel, ooh man, this laser mouse does not like the countertop that I'm operating on. I'm gonna have to find some sort of dark surface. Okay, that at least works. Yeah, holding this down over a surface. If you hold down the middle mouse wheel, then you can pan around stuff. No, seems to be weird connectivity-wise. All right, anyway, if I hold Shift, and then you can use the middle mouse wheel to pan. Oh, and then, of course, you can scroll to zoom. So I'm going to create a rectangle, and just going to drag this out. And I guess we're going to have to sort of chop this up. So I'm looking at the long dimensions, and so rather than clicking to do, I can actually just start typing in, and then in the bottom right corner, it'll actually respect those dimensions. So you see it already is trying to do a 22-foot by 29-foot type of thing. I want this to be 19 feet 7 7/16 inches by 19 feet. 17 feet. Oh no, I had those backwards. 19 feet 10 1/16 inches, comma 17 feet 7 7/16 inches. Do that. Now if I hit T to do the tape measure, we can just verify that. 19, 10 1/16. That's what I measured. And then this 17, 7 7/16. That's also what I measured. Cool. So now we have the floor plan. We can actually cut out the stuff. So I'm gonna, assuming this is the back of the studio, so the doors will be over here, and then we've got this sort of area cut out. So I'm gonna make a marker real quick just along here. And again, I'm just going to type in again. This is stay on the surface, please. Whatever. That's fine. Yeah, no, I want this to be. All right, let me just type in the value: 6 foot 10 3/4 inches. And that gives me a little guide there. So that's helpful. That's a guide point. And then I have the total thing here. I'm going to ignore the doors for the moment and just come in this way the whole way. And that was 11 feet 5 13/16 inches. I don't think that's accurate either, but whatever. Cool, that's a guide. I'm going to go to the pen tool, so I'll hit L for line. I'm going to go down here along the face, cut in 2 feet 11 1/2 inches. Cool, so that's the line there. Hit escape because I'm going to come in from here. Oh no, that's right to there, isn't it? Yes. So that's, in theory, what this place looks like. So I can delete these now, and there's the floor plan. Can I just select just the guide here? I should be able to. Actually, if I just, oh really? It's only supposed to select, whatever, tape, measure, delete. I can remove the guides. Can I delete all guides somehow, please? Delete all guides. On face. Dimensions. Tape measure. No. Oh, right. Those are just extra tools. All right. Because otherwise that guide is going to annoy me. Of course, if I delete the line, then bad things happen. Actually, can I unselect all? Nope. There we go. Unselect this. Oh, come on. No, that's wrong. Oh, there we go. Ha! Gotcha. Okay, so that's one guide gone. And then over here, get this guide, and just the guide, please. Click. There we go. Did I get it? Yes! All right. Cool. So now we have a floor plan. And that's fantastic. Look at how spacious. We can use the push tool, P, pull this up, and then we have, our wonderful studio space. I didn't measure height. Let me go do all of that real quick. Actually, there are two heights, so I'm going to have to measure because there's a little Right here, it's actually a little lower and then it opens up. So we're going to have to measure those heights. So I'll keep this back. Let's just undo that. Let me measure height real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so the first height, right, when you enter the room is 6 feet, 10 and 15 sixteenths. We're going to go with it. 10 and 15 sixteenths inches. And then past 2 feet, 10 inches, 10 and 3/16 inches, then things are different. So let's get ourselves another, let's get a tape measure tool out, and along here, 2 feet, 10 and 3/16 inches. It's almost to this corner, but it's not at this corner, which is fun. And actually, we don't even, okay, sure, intersection of the line and this. Of course, it's going to try and conveniently autocomplete to the corner. We want it to complete to there. And then we can remove that guide. Now that guide should be easier to get rid of because it's just a line and we can select it outside of the model. Okay, whoop, what a weird, okay. My mouse is being a little weird. I may need to replace the batteries in this thing. I don't use this mouse ever, so who knows. Let's see. And then, yeah, we need to pull this. Oh, by an additional, I got to do the math. You know what? No, I'm going to be lazy. If I draw a line here and then I just draw it straight up, then I can just set it to a particular height. And that height is 7 feet, 7 and 1/8 inches. And then I can just pull this to flush with the top of that. And then I can just delete my guideline. And delete that guideline too. And now we have, there we go. That is the exterior of our studio. Except that's not that. I mean, these are this is the inner wall. So yeah, there's presumably stuff above and yeah, to the sides of here. At least I would hope. Otherwise, we're gonna have a rude awakening. Haven't measured the doors, so I don't know. Let's just put something in here. Well, the doors were flush with the ceiling vaguely, weren't they? We do have measurements. We have measurements for how far in they were from the side. So 2 feet, 4 and 7/8. 2 feet, 4, 7/8 inches. And then on this side, got 3 feet, 9.5. And there we go. So that's basically the door frame, and we'll just leave that as being the door frame for now. We can just cut out that part of the wall and build stuff back in as needed. So if I cut that out, there we go. Now we have an entrance into our wonderful place. We can eventually put doors in there, but hey, now we can see this is exactly what it looked like to you guys, right? On the camera. Whoa. Yeah, this mouse is being fritzy. Why are you being difficult? But okay, I think you get the idea. What we're going to do over the next, I don't know, videos of some fashion is, one, I'm going to get a mouse pad. But two, we can actually do some initial mock-ups and that type of thing. I actually used this in the past, and if I can show you, I'll open up a different model so you can sort of see. This was helpful for me when I was figuring out how I was going to do acoustic treatments in the Whisper Room. I was able to generate measurements that way. So let me pop into that model. I'll go ahead and save this, and we'll visit that later. This is my Whisper Room, 3D modeled, and I was figuring out how I was going to end up putting some rigid fiberglass insulation inside here. Of course, it's actually covered with fabric, but was able to actually calculate the dimensions and figure out all of the cuts I needed because I modeled everything and then kind of stacked everything in here and was able to get out everything that I needed, which was great. And I've got a couple of examples here where, yeah, I was able to use the tape measure tool and tell me, hey, here's exactly how I need to cut these pieces, because I ended up with, you get these square pieces, and I figured out, okay, so the ceiling, because it's an odd shape, the ceiling has to be cut this way, and we'll use this part, and figured out all the dimensions, was able to make the cuts, and they actually ended up working very, very well. So, yeah, we can end up doing similar stuff, not just get measurements for cuts and stuff, but actually get a sense of, hey, what are things going to look like once we have things treated? So, anyway, I think this is a cool way of doing this. We're going to do more planning at a later time, because I don't want this to run too long. I'm sure it's already run quite a while. And yeah, So next up on my on my list, I've got to get some dummy handles for the doors so that we can close and open and close those. We'll have to get the ball latches installed. I have those sitting around somewhere. Got to get in and vacuum in there, and then we're gonna look at maybe still working on painting, maybe because I want to probably paint before I get flooring down. So, well, clock's ticking. All right. I hope this is interesting to you. Let me know if you're interested or if there are particular things that you're interested in or would like to see. Because I don't know, I'm just kind of trying this because I think it's fun. You'll have to let me know your own thoughts. Eager to hear from you and hope that you're doing well. And I will speak with you soon. Cheers.